Hello and welcome. Jay Fazette here, founder of The Creator's Code and best-selling author and business strategist. Thank you so much for being here today and choosing to download the Rapid Growth Report, the 7 fastest ways to grow your coaching business and escape the time for money trap. You are going to be thrilled that you did. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you how to evaluate the fastest, easiest, and most joyful ways to grow your business so that you can experience leverage, contribution, and flow. What that means, in a practical sense, is that you never again think or say these words. Oh, I just need 3 more clients. Good Lord, I pray they renew. Or, where else can I just get 1 more client? And of course, you will never have the inside voice and the outside voice misaligned again. Now, you know what I'm talking about here. So that's when a friend or a family member says, hey, how's your business doing? And you answer with 2 voices. One is the outside voice and one is the inside voice. You know what I mean? The outside voice says, oh, hey, I'm in transition. And the inside voice says, yeah, but to what? I don't really know. And the outside voice says, oh, I'm finishing my practicum. And the inside voice says, good Lord, I hope that I can get some paying clients. And of course, the outside voice says, oh, me? I'm taking the summer off, yay! And the inside voice says, because I don't have any clients. Or the outside voice says, yay, I just got 2 clients this month, yahoo! And the inside voice says, yeah, but I needed 5 just to keep up with my bills. Now, rapidly growing your business properly will end all of these worries and challenges. Now, I need to tell you something. I have huge love for people like you, people who make a difference contributing, giving of themselves to better people's lives, to better people's businesses, and ultimately to better the world. Now, I believe that it is some of the most significant work on planet Earth, which is why it breaks my freaking heart and it frustrates me when I see talented people, gifted people, struggle. And that's why I am so glad that you are here. You've made a brilliant choice to explore how to grow your business, how to create more value, and how to make more money being and doing what you love and sharing your unique gifts and message. So I want to tell you just a little bit about me. First and foremost, I originally came from a large group training and facilitating background. And I've been doing that for over 25 years. And over that time, I have personally trained hundreds of coaches and facilitators. Now, the reality is that I started in a business model that already had some significant leverage, scale, and growth to it right out of the gate. And it wasn't until years later that I started to very selectively accept one-on-one clients. Now, I was there at the very beginning of the coaching industry, watching coaches go off and get certified and then come home and say, oh, I'm really excited, and then in most cases disappear into the ether. Now, I believe they disappeared into the ether because one simple assumption. Hell, we might even call it an industry myth or a limiting belief, which I can summarize in a simple sentence. It is this: trading time for money is a business coaching model. And that, my friends, is BS. It is not true. Trading time for money coaching, what that really boils down to is a job. Now, let's be clear, it's a significant and it's a meaningful job, but it's a job nonetheless. And it's a job that has a limit on your income. It has a limit on your freedom because, again, you're just trading time for money. Now, I'm sure that you are all already fully aware of this, and thus you chose to be here downloading the Rapid Growth Report and listening to this video. Now, I specialize in supporting my clients to design and execute rapid business growth strategies that are right for them. And implementing the right growth strategy for you is the key to creating the business that you desire, that you deserve, with all of the leverage, all of the freedom, all of the contribution that you can imagine. So this is my invitation to you. Join me in learning how to apply the best rapid growth strategies in my free live training. Please mark your calendar and join me in one of my upcoming complimentary live and very interactive trainings. And at any point in this video, you can simply click the Register Now button below, and it will open another window for you to select the day and the time of the live training that works best for you. And all the while, you can still listen and learn from this video. So, if you are ready to escape the time for money trap, if you're ready to do the work one time and get paid many times, Then join me on the live trainings, and we're going to get started right here, right now. Get ready because here it comes. The top 7 rapid growth strategies rated from the most difficult to the easiest for the average coach. Now, all of these strategies are ways to contribute value to your clients and your tribe instead of just trading time for money in a one-on-one coaching model. I will wager that none of these are new ideas to you, but for one reason or another, you have not tackled them. That could be time, that could be complexity, that could be capital, hell, that could be belief in self. And I do think that it's important for a moment just to explore and acknowledge some of the reasons, consciously and less than consciously, that these rapid growth strategies are not a part of, or perhaps not as large a part as you may want in your current business. Now, my background is in personal transformation, the discovery of what makes us as human beings tick. And I did this work for 15 years prior to working with entrepreneurs as a business strategist. Now, here is the single greatest truth that hit me on the head when I began working with entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship, and especially coaching, is the universe's most perfectly designed personal transformation program. Now, the reason for this is that we all design our personal problems into our businesses. Just think about it for a moment. What personal problems of yours show up in your business? If you tell the truth about it, honest to God, it's all of them. Let's be frank, everywhere we go, there we are. So let's just take a moment to acknowledge why we are stuck trading time for money. The top of the list is this. We were taught at our coach training school the one-on-one model. And perhaps we have beliefs that say we cannot create the same depth or connection and service using a one-to-many model. Or perhaps we believe that our network is too small. Or maybe you don't feel qualified to lead large groups. Perhaps it'll cost too much. Rooms, advertising, teams. Or perhaps a deeper, and for some a darker truth, is for many coaches that you don't get your own personal needs of importance, significance, superiority, power being needed met when you're not in front of and serving an individual client. Now, most people who entered the coaching industry are also making the transition from employee to entrepreneur, a whole other level of complexity. And they still hold unconsciously the beliefs that made them a fantastic employee, but marginal entrepreneurs. All too often it boils down to, I don't know what I don't know. And all of these and more are often at play. So, let's start at the beginning and explore the top 7 rapid growth strategies that coaches use to grow their businesses. Now, here are the top 7 strategies. Large scale events of 150 plus. Selling from the stage. Books and products. Joint ventures. Facilitating workshops 30 and above. Group coaching. And mastermind groups. Now, I created a ranking system where I ranked each of these on 5 criteria on a scale of -10 to +10. And here's how they stacked up. Large scale events of 150 or more came in as the most challenging and difficult, with a rating of -13. Now, there's lots of reasons for this, but the short version is this. Number 1, it is tough to put 150 people in the room. 2, you have to have great contacts. You have to bring people who are significant and big enough names who want to actually work with you, and you got to get them on your stage. Then there's all of the capital, renting the rooms, the space, the videographer, the teams. It's a big deal. -13. Now, if you can do them well, they can be incredibly profitable. But for starting out, they're damn difficult. Now, next on our list of the most difficult is selling from the stage. Now, selling from the stage is mighty sexy. And I have heard more than I can tell you. It's like people say, I just need to get on other people's stages because I'll be great. I just need a stage. Can you get me a stage? Who has a stage? How do I get on a stage? Now, I rated this as a -8. The reason it's a -8 is this. Is you have to be a stunningly powerful speaker to get that to work for you. Even as a stunningly powerful speaker, then you need to be able to get on other people's stages. And the only way to do that is to have stunning results. So you've got to have experience. You've got to have a phenomenal back-end program that you can deliver. And then you get to go out and fill the front of the funnel. Fill the front of the funnel, fill the front of the funnel. And the truth of the matter is that it looks fantastic. But you've got to travel the world, which might work for you or it might mean being away from your family. You have to have great relationships. You've got to be able to deliver results day in, day out consistently. It's a tough one, although it's sexy. Now, both of those first two were negatives. We're now moving on to our first positive, which is this: books and products. Now you got to understand this. I am a huge fan of books and products. Now, books and products landed at a +7. Now, I'm a best-selling author. I have sold tens of thousands of copies, but I got to tell you, they don't make that much money. So here's the thing. Everyone in this space should have books and products. The challenge is simply this, is that books and products on their own don't make that much money. So people have this little fantasy like, oh, I'm going to be a best-selling author and I'm going to make millions of dollars and I'll get a radio program and Louise Hay is going to publish my book. You know, the honest-to-God truth about it is this. A dear friend of mine, Laurel Langmeyer, she's a 5-time New York Times best-selling author, and her books are still not her moneymaker. A book on its own isn't going to do it. Now, in addition to that, programs. Good Lord, there are more online programs than you can shake a stick at that have never really been sold or delivered. Please understand this. The real work happens with these things after they're done. Are they powerful ways of leverage? Of course they are. So, if you sell them, yahoo, that works. So, it gets a +7. Now, joint ventures. I love joint ventures. And joint ventures gets +13. Now, you probably found your way to this video, in fact, through a joint venture relationship that I have. But there's a couple of things that you've got to be clear about in terms of joint ventures. Number one, you need to have value that you can bring to a joint venture. What that usually means at this stage of the game is you've got a decent size list. In addition to that, you've got to be pretty handy with technology. So you've got to figure out affiliate links, you've got to figure out landing pages, you've got to figure out how to drive traffic, you've got to figure all of those pieces. And you've got to have great relationships with people who are aligned with you, that you can trust that they will deliver great value for you and you will deliver great value for them. It is an incredibly powerful tool. I'm a raving fan, but it's just a +13 because there are still some particular requirements to get into that game. Now, the next step after this is facilitating workshops. Now, that is of about 30 people plus. And I want to be very clear about this. Facilitating workshops is one of my favorite things in the universe. Frankly, it's how I made most of my money, it's how I built my business, and it's rated at a +16. Now, it's rated at a +16 because there's unbelievable intrinsic reward. The truth of the matter is that you don't just, have to put 150 people in a room. You can do it with 30, 40, 50 and have very profitable business and amazing, astounding, intimate experiences. So it can be one of those things that when you're facilitating, you're not so much teaching, you're not so much telling, you're inviting, you're pulling out, you're assisting people to create their own breakthroughs. There's nothing more rewarding than when that light bulb goes on top of somebody's head and you know they're going to apply it. So this can be very profitable as long as you understand the difference between fixed costs and variable costs, and you can make sure that you drive your numbers way above your fixed costs. So, 6, group coaching. Now, group coaching got a rating of +24. Group coaching, if you think about it, this is pretty simple and straightforward. You have your program already, and instead of delivering that one-to-one, you're going to adapt it, and you are going to grow it into a little bit of deeper content, and you're going to deliver that same fundamental program to, 5 or 7 or 10 people. Now, please understand this. When you do this, you get paid 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times for exactly the same amount of work fundamentally. So, teach them what you need to teach them. Then help them step through the process of learning it and applying it. And all of these pieces, you get to coach them through the process of creating that experience or result. You already have the content. You just need to learn how to grow it, develop it, and deliver it in a meaningful way where instead of getting paid one-to-one, you get paid one-to-many. Group coaching is one of the most powerful experiences, one of the most powerful ways to scale your business fast. Now, at +24, it's our second highest. Now here's the top of the list, and it is this: to lead mastermind groups. Now mastermind groups gets a rating of 33. 33! So that's 33 out of a possible 50. Now, here's the reason for this. Well, actually, there's a bunch of reasons for this. But one is this: it is the easiest thing in the world. First and foremost, all you need is a very small group of people, somewhere between 6 and 12. Most people can do that. Now, if you help them get into a long-term commitment, like the span of a year, which is one of my favorite time frames, and you make sure that you develop a community and a relationship where you are not solely responsible for the content or the experience. Now, it's when you're drawing upon, this works best, when you're drawing upon the wisdom, the experience, the network of all of the group members. And you get to guide, you get to hold the context, you get to serve and support a powerful community, which creates what is most important to them. And these masterminds can be highly profitable, and they can be an incredible amount of fun. And they don't need to take a lot of time. In my opinion and in my experience, they are 1,000 times easier to build than almost any other kinds of these businesses and processes. And all you need to do is be a leader in that space. Be able to share tidbits of wisdom and support. Help each of the members break through to whatever it is that they need to create in terms of the results that they want in their lives. Boom, you've got a mastermind. Now, masterminds are the major winner here. And let's be clear about this. All of these are powerful, rapid growth processes. And I've done all of them. And frankly, I recommend all of them. But the big question is, where do you start? Where do you get the fastest, the easiest, and the most joyful lift in your business? Well, the clear answer is mastermind groups. Now, the big difference between one-on-one and one-to-many is that on the one-on-one hand, we trade our time for money. And on the other hand, we trade value for money. Now, in the next video and in the live trainings, I'm going to go into great detail and share with you the power of masterminds. And what are the 3 massive mistakes that most coaches and consultants make when launching masterminds, and how you can avoid them so that you can easily add 6 figures to your income. Now, the first step today is I want you to start thinking about how you can integrate masterminds into your model. And I'm going to share with you just a couple of case studies and a couple of ways in which masterminds can be rolled out. I want you to just really think of it as we're going through this, how you could integrate some of these ideas into your model. We'll just start with ways to integrate masterminds. So, for example, sharing your expertise. Now, that could be self-care for moms. That could be technology. That could be you're a great author and a writer, and you know how to do that. That could be personal development. That could be spiritual development. Share an area of expertise that you are a leader in, that you are knocking it out of the park with. Now, a brief example that I'll tell you more about in a couple of minutes is this. I lead something called the Online Business Breakthrough, which is a super simple process. 10 people, $15,000 a year, $150,000. Now, we meet one night a month, one. And it's the simplest, easiest, most joyful thing I do because I get to share my learning edge with them and they get leading edge support. Now, another cool way to integrate masterminds is not just the expertise, but organize peer events. Now, this could be industry events. Think about it this way. You could have the same industry, but different geographical location masterminds. So I know of automotive dealerships that do this. I know of dentists that do this. I know chiropractors that do this. I know of accountants that do this. I know of network marketing people that do this. There's an inordinate number of ways if you think about specific industry, different location. But they all come together to share best practices. Now, another way to roll out masterminds is network access. So there's a client of mine who was an Olympic athlete, and he launched a mixed martial arts business and brought clients to actually get on the mat with MMA stars that they would never otherwise have access to. They'd be unreachable. So the mastermind leveraged his unique network. Here's another one, location access. At the highest end, think Richard Branson and Necker Island. It's brilliant. People want to be with him and they want to be on his island. They want to tell that story to other people. So another underused use of masterminds is non-profit groups, so such as church groups. There's a church here in Calgary where the weekly sermon is actually the result of a mastermind between the minister, the music director, the art director, and key members of the board. So you can also do internal and organizational masterminds, sales team masterminds, innovation team masterminds, customer care, congregation care. Think of it as a way to bring minds together, because the applications for masterminds are quite literally endless. Now, the clear winning strategy to grow your business in the fastest, easiest, and most joyful way is mastermind groups. So let's just talk for a moment or two about what is a mastermind group. Now, the name mastermind was created by Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. And it's when a small group of people meet to grow, to learn, to evolve, to support one another. And it can be on any topic, it can have any time frame, it can have any format. But here's the most significant thing, is that it is a truly spiritual process. A quote from his book, which I truly love, is this: "The coordination of knowledge and effort of two or more people who work towards a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. No two minds can ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind." Napoleon Hill. In the masterminds that I lead and teach others to lead, we rely on a structure that does three things. First and foremost, it gets oriented around the person's vision and mission. Then the next piece is that we want to create an environment of what I would call familial support. Now, that familial support really boils down to this. It's where we stand for the best in one another, even when the other person may not believe it themselves. Now, it's also that piece of, you know what, we might get a little bit frustrated or annoyed with someone else in our mastermind group. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just like at the end of Thanksgiving dinner. We still give them a hug and say, "I love you, I stand for the best in you, now get out there and go get them." Because there's that idea and grounding of familial support. Now, in addition to that, there's a structure or a process that allows people to draw out the wisdom, the experience, the network, and the resources of other people in the group. This is key, because this isn't something like, people showing up and saying, "Okay, teacher, teach me." No, this is about us coming together, creating true collaboration, true community, which is magical when it happens. And in every one of the little mastermind segments, there's always a little bit of education. Think about this. It's not as though we have to teach them how to reinvent the wheel. What we're doing is this. So we're taking one little tidbit that will help them to apply and to integrate a larger concept or idea. We're talking about one little bit of data that could make them the most interesting person at their next cocktail party. We're talking about a way and a process for them to leap forward in their lives. Now, the central component is their mission and vision. And then around that, familial support, access to network resources, a little bit of education, and we roll that all together with a structure that simply kicks ass. So frankly, we're going to tell you way more about that structure in the next video. And we're going to tell you how that structure you can utilize and you can apply that to your own business. Now, I want to share a couple of quick case studies with you. Now, these are all masterminds that either I lead or I have helped structure and I've trained other people to lead. One of my favorites was a woman, and she was an amazing woman. She wanted to lead a mastermind group that focused on self-care for moms. Now, she's an amazing woman. At the time, she was raising 4 kids. She was marathoning, like literally running marathons. She was in incredible health and fitness. She was rocking her relationships. And frankly, people wanted to know how the hell she did it. So she ran 2 groups. Each of the groups had 10 people in it. She only charged $97 a month. But these 2 groups of 10 running for a year, that generated her, of course, $24,000. Now here's the thing, working 2 nights a month. 24K, 2 nights a month, not so bad. Now what's really fascinating though is that she also had a joint venture arrangement with me, and that generated another $28,000. All sharing and doing what she loved to do and sharing what people wanted to discover from her, which was helping moms commit to self-care and creating the life that they dreamed of and desired. Simple, clean, easy. And that's a good example of a pretty low-end mastermind, $97 a month. Pretty simple, clean, and easy. Now, I'm going to swing the pendulum to the other end of the spectrum, and here's a mastermind of mine. It's something I mentioned earlier, and it's called the Online Business Breakthrough. So, it's $15,000 a year. We get together 1 night a month. We utilize case studies. I share with them the processes that I'm learning and applying to my own business. We have 1 weekend a year where we do a production weekend. That means we set up the cameras, we set up the video, we get graphic designers, we get the web designers, we get the automated webinar stuff set up, we put all of that together in a room, and we work on it for an entire weekend. Now, what this really boils down to is this. In a year, that cranks out about $150,000, working 1 night a month and 1 weekend a year with a little bit of coaching and support along the way with people I love. We have some wine, we giggle, we laugh, we learn. That, my friends, is the power of masterminds. In your world, there's a spot for a mastermind. I absolutely 1000% know it. What's going to transpire in our next video is that I'm going to help you to frame out what would actually happen in a mastermind. In fact, we're going to give you an entire manual, a 52-page manual that will work all of those details out. Now, until then, however, I'm going to ask you to do a few things. Number one, I'm going to ask you to make sure that you've downloaded the Rapid Growth Report if you haven't already, and make sure you read it. There's a whole bunch more depth and detail to what I have given you the high-level explanation of here. Now, in addition to that, I'm also going to ask you to make some Facebook comments, again, directly below here. Share with your community what you learned about growing your business, what you found out to be the fastest, easiest way to grow your business, and anything else that you learned about Mastermind. So please make a comment below. I give you my word, if you have questions or comments or ideas, we will respond to all of them. Now, the next is this. I want you to absolutely 1000% make sure that you get ready for our second bit of content, which is going to be coming out in a couple of days, and it is called the Mastermind Mentors Manual. So this is that 52-page manual, and it will teach you everything you need to know about how to roll out and run masterminds. It's amazing. Honest to goodness, I spent more than $15,000 writing, creating, training, and using it in my own business. And last but not least, be sure to get yourself registered in one of my live and highly interactive trainings, where I will dive deep into what it takes to roll out a mastermind that works in your business. So keep your eyes open for the Mastermind Mentors Manual, and make sure that you attend our next training video. And I look forward to helping you mastermind to millions.